Hi there, I'm going to show you how to change out the coin slots on your coin feeder if you want to add additional slots. You'll swap the decal on the machine to either $1 or 75-cent payment decal. Some of them will have a payment decal here you'll remove, and then we're going to change or add additional slots right now. This one's set up for 50 cents. All it really takes is a Phillips screwdriver. I use a dental pick to get the insert out. I'll show you right now. So you unhook your springs and you'll take these two screws out. This removes the cap. You can set those aside. Now the cap will come right off. You can set that aside. Okay, got the screws out and the cap off. And we're gonna flip this over. I'm gonna remove this bottom bracket, two more Phillips screws, and this will remove the spring plate on the bottom. Okay, now with these springs, just lay it all flat in your hand, and then the fingers won't fall out of the springs. If this falls apart, you need to get each one of those 5 fingers back underneath the springs. And that's how you can set that off to the side until you put it back in the feeder. Okay, now at this point, this will slide back all the way, and that reveals the bracket that holds down the coin slots. Again, 3 more Phillips screws here. 1, 2, 3. And if you are just going to 75 cents, then you'll only have to add 1 payment slot. If you're going to $1, you'll add 2. So first you remove the black insert. This is what I have my dental pick for. That you just set out to the side. Grab your new quarter insert, put it in that same spot. I'll just set this one up for 75 so you can see if you were going to go to $1, again, you're going to remove this one and add your 4th slot. For now, we'll set this one up for 75 cents. Okay, so we'll set our bracket back in. We're going to put our screws back in. Be careful not to cross thread these. A little fine thread screw. Okay. Start all of them before you tighten them. Then you can tighten the middle one first. And tighten the outer 2. Make sure those are tight because this thing takes a lot of beating when it goes in and out. Okay, now at this point, I'm going to flip this back over, and there's a little catch piece right here. If this piece falls out, which tends to happen when you don't want it to, when you go all the way back, if you look down in there, there's a little slot, and the way this bracket fits back in, this is the ratcheting bracket. You just set it down into that slot. And once you have it in the right place, this will ratchet on it. Okay, so now that's back in where it'll want to be. It should stay there when you flip this back over. Now at this point, we're putting our spring bracket back on. Remember with these, be careful with those fingers so they stay in the springs. Set this down just like that. When you put it in, make sure your coin feeder's flush with the front. That'll make sure these fingers are aligning in the right spot. Now at this point, you'll put your bracket back on with your other 2 screws. This holds the springs down. Go backwards a little first to make sure it drops into the threads. These are threads in a cast iron or a cast metal housing, so you have to be careful with it so you don't strip the threads out. And then tighten those up very good and tight. They have a lock washer underneath. Just make sure you get them tight. Okay, now at this point, flip back over. Last step, we're gonna put our cap back on here. At this point, I always do like to check to make sure this bracket is tight as well. You can just give that a little tightening, especially if your feeder's been in use for a while. If that comes loose, this bracket, if that's loose, you'll break more of these spring ends. So if you've been breaking a lot of spring ends, check to make sure your bracket's tight on the end bolt. Okay, now put these 2 screws back in the top. Make sure your cap is fully lined up, and then the screws will go right in. Start them both a little bit first, then you can tighten them all the way down. Okay, then the very last step, rehook your springs up. And now your feeder is set up for 75 cents. As it goes in and out, and the springs retracted in, it's functioning right. Now we're going to try it with some quarters and pennies. Okay, we're just going to test it out now. So put our 3 quarters and our penny in. Show from underneath here. Let's see where they come out. Yep, everybody was happy, dropped right through. Let's try it one more time. All right, all set.